It's still a shorter scene than some of the earlier ones, but we have the final soliloquy of Hamlet where he really, it's the wheel is turned. He has made his decision to act. He knows there's no going back. And how he makes that decision is through his observation of Fortinbras here. Fortinbras and his army cross Hamlet's path on their way to Poland. Hamlet finds in Fortinbras' vigorous activity a model for himself in avenging his father's murder. Hamlet resolves upon bloody action. Here it is. Fortinbras, go, captain, from me greet the Danish king. Tell him that by his license Fortinbras craves the conveyance, the escort of a promised march over his kingdom. I'm ready for battle. I'm ready for it, right? You know the rendezvous, if that his majesty would aught with us, we shall express our duty in his eye, and let him know so. I will do it, my lord. Go softly on, slowly, go slowly on. Good sir, here's Hamlet with Fortinbras. They're at a plain in Denmark here, on the plains here, on the field. Good sir, whose powers are these? Whose forces are these? They are of Norway, sir. How purpose, sir? I pray you, against some part of Poland. What commands them, sir? The nephew to old Norway, Fortinbras. Goes it against the main of Poland, sir? Or for some frontier? Truly to speak, and with no addition, plainly, we go to gain a little patch of ground, that hath in it no profit but the name. To pay 5 ducats 5 I would not farm it, nor will it yield to Norway or the Pole a ranker rate, should it be sold for free. We're going for this small patch of land, Fortinbras and the crew here. Why then the Polak never will defend it? Yes, it is already garrisoned. 2,000 souls, 2,000 souls and 20,000 ducats will not debate the question of the straw. This is the imposthume of much wealth and peace, that inward breaks and shows no cause without why the man dies. I humbly thank you, sir. God by you, sir. Rosencrantz. Will please you go, my lord? I'll be with you straight. Go a little before. So, and here's the final soliloquy. And what Hamlet does, he sees Fortinbras with his army, not Fortinbras here, right? We get Fortinbras here. He's not hesitating. He's made up his mind. He's fighting over this land here that's not worth anything. And in Hamlet sees this just strength and determination. And here we have the final soliloquy. How all occasions do inform against me and spur my dull revenge. So up to this point, my dull revenge, all occasions, all these little things that Hamlet has been using to delay the revenge that the ghost beseeched him in Hamlet's promise his father. What is a man if his chief good in market, the profit of his time, be but to sleep and feed? What good are we if all we do is eat and sleep? If all we do, if we are not people of action, what good are we? A beast no more. Sure, he that made us with such a large discourse, understanding, discourse is understanding here, right? Looking before and after, gave us not that capability and godlike reason to fust, grow moldy. We're meant for more than just growing moldy. In us unused. Now, whether it be bestial oblivion, forgetfulness, or some craven scruple of thinking too precisely on the event, the outcome, if we're just, thinking too precisely, is this Hamlet right here? I have thought too precisely on that. Hamlet is an overthinker, right? But now it's different. There's a change right now. A thought which quartered hath but one part wisdom, and ever 3 parts the coward. That's Hamlet, right? 1 part wisdom. He's smart. He's clever. He's but 3 parts the coward. I do not know. Why yet I live to say just things to do. Sith I have a cause and will and strength and means to do it. I do possess these things, right? The strength and will and means to do it. Examples gross as earth exhort me. the large obvious as earth, examples as large as earth exhort me. Witness this army of such mass and charge. Look at this army, led by a delicate and tender prince. Fortinbras, right? Isn't Hamlet whose spirit with divine ambition puffed? So, uh, Fortinbras, tender and delicate, Hamlet, tender and delicate, but divine ambition puffed. There's no hesitation in Fortinbras, though. Makes mouths of the invisible event, makes scornful faces of the unseen. He doesn't care about the outcome. Fortinbras, that is, exposing what is mortal unsure to all that fortune, death, and danger dare, even for an eggshell. Right? This is really important. Fortinbras, he doesn't give a damn. This land that's worthless, he's still gonna fight and take it no matter what. All, even for an eggshell. Rightly to be great is not to stir without great argument, but greatly to find coral in a straw when honor's at the stake. So when it's a matter of honor, it doesn't, you go forth and you fight and you finish what you want to start, what you started. How stand I then that have a father killed? So if Fortinbras is willing to go forth with the devil may care attitude over this nothing of a land, Hamlet's like, my father was killed, a mother stained. Excitements right here means incentives of my reason and my blood, and let all sleep, while to my shame I see the imminent death of 20,000 men, that for a fantasy and trick of fame, illusion and trifle reputation here, trick of fame, go to their graves like beds, fight for a plot whereon the numbers cannot try to cause, which is not a tomb, enough and O continent, to hide the slain. Oh, from this time forth, my thoughts be bloody or be nothing worth. So, Hamlet's last soliloquy is crucial to our understanding of his character development. By the end of the soliloquy, Hamlet brings to a halt his solemn contemplation on the immoral act of murderous revenge and finally accepts it as his necessary duty. It is not that Hamlet has presented a solid and reasonable argument to convince himself of his terrible responsibility. Rather, he has driven himself to the conclusion with intense and distorted thoughts. Hamlet accuses himself of forgetting his father in that bestial oblivion, yet he thinks his problem could be thinking too precisely on the event. Moreover, although Hamlet has seen Fortinbras only for a moment earlier in the play and knows nothing of his true motives for going to war, Hamlet convinces himself that Fortinbras is fighting to protect his honor. Part of Hamlet relishes the idea of such conviction, however illogical and futile, and so he focuses on the image of Fortinbras courageously leading his troops. Hamlet's reason, the part of him that has been dominant throughout the play, the part of him that questions the honor and murder and revenge, this time cannot provide a rebuttal. So Hamlet is overcome by his obligations to enact revenge. Hamlet was once greatly distressed over having to exact payment for his father's murder, even though the reason for such revenge was weighty indeed. Now Hamlet commends the idea of the imminent death of 20,000 men for ludicrous fantasy and trick of fame. So Hamlet sees Fortinbras, who eventually takes over, as a model. Every time before, Hamlet has come up with a I don't want to say excuse, but something that stands in his way. Now there is nothing that stands in his way. The wheel is almost completely turned here. And Hamlet is made up his mind. It's decisive. He is going to enact revenge.